What's up, Coop?
Not much.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I got some wild turkey today.
Hell yeah. Do you see my toy collection?
It's getting bigger
expanding, right?
and bigger. You just got the Terminator 2 Arnold with a minigun today, right?
Right here. If you're watching on YouTube.
Dope.
He even came with the
fuck.
grenade launcher. See, it's strapped to his back.
Oh, shit. I don't remember him having the big...
He's
Does he have
glued.
like a-
He's glued to the table. Don't touch him.
Okay. Well, I don't remember him having...
The ammo pack?
Yeah, the ammo pack.
Yeah,
I thought that was more of a Jesse the Body Ventura thing from Predator 2.
His was
Or
a back.
Predator.
Predator. Jesse had a backpack.
Mm-hmm. Did Arnold have a backpack in Terminator 2?
No, it was like a weird satchel. He like drops it at some point.
Oh, okay. I remember.
Duh, everyone knows that.
Should we do the intro and bring our guest?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the... Am I switching to...
Yeah, I was on it.
Same thing? Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were leaving on the line or not. Anyway, this is the show that takes a look behind the puppets besides the famous icons to show you why you can never take anything at face value. My name is Cooper, and across from me, as always, is Joel R. Benner.
What's up?
And today we have a very, very, very special guest. The first time that I have been starstruck since we started working with this fucking network.
Yeah.
The one, the only,
Woo!
Last Row Lopez.
Yeah.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Woo! Now that's how you start a show right there, I tell you what.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I haven't done that since I was a teenager.
Rumbled my giblets up a little bit, to be honest with you. My tummy now hurts.
How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going pretty good. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm a huge fan of the show.
Oh, man, we are fucking
We're huge
honored to
fans
have
of
you
you
on the
Yeah.
show.
One of my favorite things is telling people that, like, Cleopatra was a byproduct of, like, 300 years of inbreeding. And I'm like...
The Ptolemies.
It makes me, like, desire her more. She's like a mutant from X-Men. You know what I mean? Like, you're just fucking her. She has, like, an extra titty on her hip. You're just, like, trying to milk her tit, you know? Like,
Oh, God.
she has, like, 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what's going to happen with that kind of
That'd be
stuff.
sick if she had 3 tits.
So, she probably did.
She could have.
She might have. I mean, that would make her that much more popular, and that's why not only Julius Caesar but Mark Antony were just dead set on
Ruin their lives for her.
Yeah, Mark Antony especially. Caesar was wise enough to not get caught up in all that because, I mean, he had girls in every single zip code back then, but Mark Antony himself.
That's the
Bless
beer's
you.
fault. It's the beer's fault.
I know.
You just shotgun a beer.
I'm trying so hard not to burp into the mic right now, but it's fucking worth it to have Last Row Lopez in the house. So I had no idea that you're actually you're a history enthusiast.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not just a bitches and beer enthusiast. You're a history enthusiast also, and I didn't realize that those things went hand in hand.
No, yeah, I'm a history enthusiast. I kind of lost that passion, like, a couple years ago.
Because
But-
of your new passion.
Yeah, because what's my new passion?
You know, going to college parties, kicking ass, taking names.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to learn the history of the colleges so I sound smart in front of the girls, you know? It's like, oh, yeah, I know that statue is Mark Lubbockson. You know? He founded the library here.
Oh yeah, good old Mark Lubbockson.
So you do your
Yeah.
research before you go to these colleges and
Oh,
stuff?
I have to.
Why don't you tell everybody, for the people that don't know who you are, what it is you actually do?
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm Last Row Lopez. I'm a part of the Drinking Barrels Network, and I basically just get paid to go to college football games and throw parties in the last row and just buy a bunch of beer for people and chug it. It's really that simple. I'll walk around like the tailgate with a case of beer and just be like, hey, do you want a shotgun of beer real quick? And they're like, yeah. So I'll just hand them I'll have like a 30-pack of Busch Light and just be like, here you go, dude. Just chug a beer together. It's very simple, very easy, but yeah, it's fun.
It's awesome. And isn't there a rule, like if they find you in the last row, what is that about?
Yeah, if you find me and take a picture of me, that's all you got to do. I am legally obligated to buy you a beer. So
That's sweet.
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think Congress passed that just earlier this year.
Yeah, and I also
Unanimously, too.
I do card everyone, by the way. No.
Nerd.
Well, I gotta say that, right? I don't know if I'll get in trouble.
I don't. Any of the
Who
cops
knows?
that actually listen to the show, I don't think they're really going to.
Yeah,
give a
that's
shit.
true.
But yes, Last Row Lopez does make sure that everyone that,
Cards
that
every
he
single
gives
person.
alcohol is of legal age.
Yeah, it's called chivalry. It ain't dead.
So, Last Row, what do you know about Alcibiades? Did you Did you catch up on the last episode that we did? Alcibiades, the man who fucked everybody.
Alcibiades.
Yeah, I was thinking
Archimedes.
Alcibiades.
Architectes.
I mean, I'm probably mispronouncing the name also, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Three titties.
Three titties.
Cleopatra three titties.
Architectes.
What do you think of Cleopatra three titties?
She was in Total Recall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Made me wish I had 3 hands.
Maybe that was based. That the chick with the 3 tits was based off of Archimedes or Cleopatra.
She was the last member of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Everybody thought that it died off just after Cleopatra, but no, it lasted all the way until they got to Mars. What year was Total Recall supposed to be in? Wasn't that like 2012 or some shit?
I don't know. I don't know if it has a date, but it was made in the 80s.
Yeah, but no, I thought that it had some date where now thinking about it, it's
like
just
96.
Like, in the far off future of 1997.
Oh man, we're all doomed if we don't get 3 titties, man.
Oh yeah, what's
thinking.
the point?
There's
of
got to be somebody with 3 titties.
What's the point of progress if you can't get 3 titties? I mean, I've seen 3 titties where one of them is very obviously a prosthetic.
Wait, in real life?
No, in videos.
Shit, that'd be
No,
fucking
fuck, I
sweet.
wish in real life.
But it was a real life video that you watched of somebody with 3 tits, even if one's fake.
Well, I mean, it was just as real as the chick with 3 tits in Total Recall.
Was it like a breast implant?
No, it wasn't actually like.
Oh, it was like a fake
grafted to-
add-on.
Yeah, it was the same thing as Total Recall.
Oh
So,
man,
but it was in a porno, so that makes it a little bit more interesting, or maybe less interesting. I don't know. I just thought it was novel.
oh that's pretty cool.
I mean, I think that's pretty much what 3 titties is. It's novel. It's not necessarily practical. 'Cause, I
Has
mean,
it
you
ever
only have 2
happened like on
hands.
accident? Like a birth
Someone
defect?
Oh, no, the doctor, the plastic surgeon, accidentally gave 3 titties to a chick.
Oh shit! I didn't know you
wanted
wanted me to
2.
give you implants. I thought you wanted 1 more. Shit!
That would be
I
cool.
accidentally put 3 titties in your body.
She wanted 4.
I misread the notes.
That's the kind of doctor I want to be. Like, hey, I gave you an extra tit for free, man. Be happy.
Yeah. Why are you upset about this?
Doesn't Mark Wahlberg has a 3rd
tits?
nipple? No, not 3 titties. Well, technically, maybe that would be considered 3 titties. He's got 3 nipples because he's got an extra nipple.
Wait, he does?
Yeah.
What are you talking
he
about?
showed it on a talk show once. He's got
He
a
added that on.
it
was
took
a
a
prosthetic.
Sharpie, drew it on there. No, I think I might actually have. So you can.
This is insider knowledge. This is breaking news.
Yeah.
Mark
Well,
Wahlberg has 3 titties?
okay, I feel bad because I'm actually kind of betraying his trust right now because that was pillow talk when he told me about that. And I wasn't supposed to say anything about it because that was a very tender moment between the two of us where he was talking about just his like what makes him the most self-conscious was the fact that he's got a 3rd nipple. Everything else is
The
so
dude's
perfect
rich.
about
Why didn't he
him.
get rid of that thing?
So that's why he wakes up at 3 in the morning. He's like, don't look at my nipple, look at my abs.
He wakes up at 3 because it takes an
Everything-
hour to put on the makeup that covers the titty.
Everything else about him is overcompensating for his 3rd nipple. That's why he made Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. It's like, oh, if I just have a shitty enough rap career, nobody's gonna care about my nipple. They'll be talking about my shitty rap career.
What a life.
Or if
back
I
then,
if I punch a fucking transgendered hooker in the face, they'll talk about that instead of talking about my 3rd nipple.
He did that too?
Yeah, like back in the
Wait,
80s.
well, it's real.
Well, it was.
I thought you punched
Are
strangers.
you like a Marky Mark enthusiast or something?
the-
How do you
I'm
know
the-
so much about him?
I'm the president of his fan club.
Oh,
You've known me
sick.
for
It's
like
all
20
coming
years
together.
now, and you didn't know that I. Why do you think that I have all of those Marky Mark pictures everywhere in my bedroom?
I thought it was a joke. It is
No,
it's a sick joke. Is what it is.
It's a business.
How much money do you make?
It's an obligation. I don't make any money off of it, so I guess technically it's not a bit.
It's
business.
creepy.
It makes me happy, and I think that that's more
Okay,
important
that's
than anything
that's
else.
good. Whatever makes you happy, Coop.
Yeah, it makes me happy. It's embarrassing, but it makes me happy. But yeah, Marky Mark, 3 nipples. Mark Wahlberg, sorry, he doesn't go by Marky Mark anymore. That's something else that I learned because he fucking punched me in the back of the head in the middle of coitus when I called him Marky Mark.
Oh, wow.
He's an aggressive
Yeah,
lover.
we had a brief but bitter love affair. I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world, though.
You don't regret it.
It was one of the best 2 weeks of my life.
That's magical. Just
I mean,
magical on that one.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, but multiple nipples, that's not super uncommon. I don't know if
Well,
you
yeah,
would consider
everybody
those-
has multiple nipples.
Well, no, I mean, more than average. Having more nipples than average isn't all that uncommon. It happens pretty often.
I've never seen it.
I have a sneaking suspicion. Well, the extra nipples don't actually look like traditional nipples.
They're like deformed and shit.
They, for the most part, they
Small.
usually look like little freckles or something like that, and sometimes it's just.
But it has a gland that
growing.
attaches to the milk.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe if it's far enough
scientific
advanced.
term?
That's a scientific term. It has a gland attached to the milk. To the.
That's what makes you a titty.
Joel,
Shotgunning a beer is fun. It got me excited.
I know it took me back to my young days of,
Yeah.
of being young and enthusiastic and full of life, not defeated by life anymore. But I mean, I'm still defeated by life, but I don't feel like it right now, which is fucking nice.
That's the power of Pine Sol, baby. Or Bud Light, baby.
Yeah, Bud Light, same thing.
Have I ever told the story on the show about the guy that I went to basic training with that lactated?
Wait, you have, but Last Row Lopez has not heard
Through
of
what
it.
part of his body?
You should tell him that story.
Luckily, through the
I
part
gotta-
that you would expect it to come from, but not where you would expect it to come from, considering it was a man.
Good God.
So I'm not gonna. It's hard to tell the story without using at least the guy's last name, because that was part of one of the cruelest jokes that I have ever heard in my entire life, because it was a drill sergeant that said it. I mean, I'll just go. If you don't know his first name, you're not going to be able to track him down. And to be perfectly honest, if he hasn't committed suicide yet, I would be fucking amazed.
Classic.
So this guy, he was in my platoon in basic training. I was in field artillery, so we had a battery instead of a company. But he was in my platoon, and his last name was Flood. And I hope to God it doesn't turn out that he just happens to be a listener of the show, and I'm just embarrassing the fuck out of him right now.
God, that's so
He was a super nice guy, but he was.
You said his last name?
Well, I have to, because it's part of the joke.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the joke that the drill sergeant told.
His first name was Gregory.
Gregory Flood.
Gregory
Fuck,
Debacalypt
The
Flood.
seventh.
Gregory Debacalypt Flood the Seventh. He was from a very, very influential family. He was from the family that was behind the New Orleans floods during Hurricane Katrina.
Ah, that's where he's
Oh
the
wow,
from.
wow.
Yeah, long lineage, goes all the way back to Noah's Ark. So this guy, he was like right at the cutoff for as overweight as you could be and still get into the military. He was borderline albino, because he was the most pale person I have ever seen in my life that wasn't actually literally an albino. Like bleach blonde looking hair, which was already thinning even though he was like in his early 20s. This guy it was just so fucking sad. Like there was not a single thing about him that wasn't just like, oh.
He looked like a giant Q-tip.
Yeah. If Q-tips were bigger in the middle than they were on either end. He was a reverse Q-tip.
Oh, yeah. Gotta watch out
bastard.
for those reverse Q-tips. They'll get you.
They'll fuck you.
So this poor guy, not only did he have all this other shit working against him, it also turns out that he had severe gynecomastia, which I'm pretty sure that's
is
what it's
that?
called. Bitch tits.
Gynecomastia. Yeah.
Gynecomastia. I'm
Bitch
pretty sure
titties.
that's what it is. But yeah, that's what most people call bitch titties.
Bitch titties. That's pretty
And it
cool.
also just so happened that when he got severely stressed out, they would lactate.
No fucking way.
I am dead serious. I am 100% serious that this is an absolute true story.
Like
when-
milk?
Milk.
Or just juicy juice?
No, milk, like straight up milk.
Did you... Never mind.
That's how I know it's milk. I had to investigate it for myself. I wasn't just gonna fucking take his word for it.
Now, given this is a coming from a person, is it whole milk? Or is it it's like a 1% or 2%? Or is it
No, that was whole milk.
that was,
for sure.
that was a whole milk situation
It was
there.
heavy cream. It was like
Was it creamy?
Whipping cream.
Oh, God. Was it actually, though?
I never saw it like outside of his shirt, because what would happen is if we were so when you're in basic training, you're obviously
you just
under a
see
lot of stress fairly often. But when he got extra stressed out, not only would he be sweating, so he'd have the dark circles on his shirt underneath his armpits, and then he would just have 2 wet spots dripping down the front of his shirt from where he was lactating.
Oh, man.
So the drill sergeant caught wind of this and thought that it was fucking hilarious. And at one point, when we were getting smoked in our bay, because like we fucked up
Isn't that
an
something-
inspection or something.
The fact that we're hearing the story later, we already feel bad for him. But when you're there in the moment, you're going to make fun of the fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Sorry, continue.
I didn't. I felt so fucking bad for him. He washed out early. I mean, obviously,
Good.
everybody
Yeah,
saw that
fuck.
coming, and it was for the best that he
If
washed
you were
out
in
early.
in a situation and he starts juicing milk out, they're gonna hear that shit and you're gonna get killed.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm glad he washed out. You do not want to go into combat with a man
With
that's
a lactating
lactating.
titty.
It's gonna leave a trail behind your squad that the enemy can follow. It's gonna give away your position. Actually, no. In a survival situation, you get caught behind enemy lines. You don't have anything else to rely on. You don't need to catch any food or anything. You just suck on his
Stuck
titties.
on his fucking titty.
Good old Milky Tit, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn right.
Sergeant Milky Tits, get over here. Let me get a drink.
He uses milk to lube up his M4. He's like, oh, I don't have any CLP. Let me use my tit real quick. Sarge. You see a guy milking himself and getting shot at. My gun's jamming.
Milky Tits, get over here. You're our last hope.
It's like the scene from Saving Private Ryan, but instead of holding all the ammo, he's just holding his tits. And he's crying in the staircase while his friends die upstairs because he won't bring him milk.
So we
Sorry.
were getting smoked one day because I'm pretty sure it was because we had failed an inspection, and our drill sergeant was just fucking laying into us, and Flood got a little stressed out and started lactating, and one of the other guys in the platoon just started laughing. He's like, "Oh, hey, Flood's lactating again." And then from like the far side of the bay, because I was on the opposite side of the bay from the drill sergeant, far side of the bay, I just hear the drill sergeant go, "Open the floodgates!" And everybody just started busting up laughing to the point that nobody else, like they couldn't keep fucking doing push-ups and
broke
jumping
formation.
jacks and
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Everything
broke
fell
formation,
apart.
yeah.
And then Flood was just sitting there like,
Taking it.
oh man.
Bad.
I felt so bad for that guy.
I feel bad for him right now, but
I do
it
too.
is funny.
But fuck, it's a.
Why didn't he put
that's
little
life, man.
clampies or something?
Oh no, he had nipple clamps, but they got confiscated because you can't have any recreational materials when you go into basic training.
That's actually almost the name of the band I just started.
Nipple clamps?
Well, we're called the Postal Stamp Pasties. We're an acoustic emo band.
That's sweet. What do you play in the band?
Oh, I only play the drums, so right now I don't play anything in the band. It's an acoustic band.
fuck.
So you're
yeah.
just there.
So I'm just the guy. It's my band. I started it. I just got to learn guitar and how to sing.
I mean, technically drums are always acoustic. You don't need any electricity for
No, it
them.
doesn't make any sense. I gotta learn how to play guitar so I can actually just be in this band, but it's like a start, I got the name. My neighbor's dog comes over to the garage sometimes, so he's kind of in. My buddy says he'll play the harp in the band. That'll be kind
that's
of cool.
Harp is a surprisingly hard instrument to learn.
Like
you
you
don't need to
slitting our
learn
wrists and like playing the
I'll
harp
play
and
the
stuff.
lap if you need another member.
Oh, I like that one.
That's acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go through the trouble of actually learning how to play guitar, just learn how to play bass. That's what everybody
Or
does
air
if they
guitar.
don't have any talent.
Air guitar. I prefer air banjo.
You're a banjo.
Yeah.
Copy.
Ba-ding, ding, ding, ba-ding. You ever meet a chick from like Alabama who like speaks banjo? When she's talking, you're just like,
Speaks banjo?
fucking, what are you saying? They're
I've
like,
only
hey, dude, what? And they're like, oh yeah, I went to Macy's yesterday and got a dress. You're like, where the fuck did that come from? Out of that dialect you just spoke, man. Yeah, that's what's called speaking banjo.
They have their own dialect over there. It's a
They
combination of incest and cousin fucking. Well, no, that's the same thing. I came from a
similar place.
redneck area, so I feel like I can say things like that without offending people.
Oh yeah, good to go.
Well, you might still offend them, but who cares? You're one of them.
Yeah,
You're only
true.
offending the people that are like you.
They're my people.
Yeah.
Oh hey Joel, I did bring you a gift. I brought you some
Holy
Custom.
shit!
almost Last Row official sunglasses.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just for this show. Oh yeah. They're
It says
pretty.
Mullet on it.
Do they make prescription lenses for Macho Man Randy Savage glasses?
Oh, that's
How do I-
fucking sick,
How am I
dude.
looking?
God damn! I'd fuck you.
This is a power couple right here, dude.
Yeah,
This is fucking sweet.
this is intimidating. I don't know how I'm gonna do the rest of the show staring at this.
Clip that for the gram.
Yeah. Pull that still.
So speaking of the show, let's get into the topic.
Oh yeah, we're doing a show.
And we'll once again we're doing Alcibiades Part 2, and
Okay.
Alcibiades is the man who fucked everyone.
Sounds awesome.
Is there a recap at the top?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I started writing out the recaps instead of trying to just wing it because I'm so fucking sloppy with that shit. I can't do
just
anything
remember
unless
that
I read it off a
The
piece
last
of
we
paper.
were at was he just lied to the Athenians and snuck over to the Spartans.
Yes, and I've got some corrections to make first.
Okay.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, I want to clarify some information from the previous episode. I mistakenly stated that Syracuse was on the western end of Sicily when in fact it is on the east coast.
Oh wow, that's a big mistake.
That's a huge mistake. I blame that on my no-good son that wrote the fucking episode, made me say something stupid outside of the
He
things
did
that
that to you on purpose.
I know. He's trying to get me back.
Aren't you proud of me that I remembered something though? That's why I said it.
No, you did. You
I only say that so you're proud of me.
you recapped most of the. I'm not proud of anybody. I look down on everyone.
Oh, okay.
Hey, thanks, man. It feels good to be here. Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate that.
The Athenian army landed in Catania, which is also on the east coast of Sicily, so therefore the Athenians weren't marching west across the island, they were actually marching south along the coast. The Athenians had traveled to Sicily to support the city of Egesta in their fight against the Spartan-allied city of Syracuse. Before setting out for Sicily, Alcibiades had been accused of defacing a Hermi, which was a sculpture of the god Hermes, Hermes' head with a big cock and balls underneath it.
What's Hermes?
Hermes was the god of travelers. He's the dude that's got the wings on his shoes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's Hermes.
Didn't he steal Apollo's cows when he was like a baby?
Was he the one that stole fire for the humans, or am I mixing up my mythology?
I think you're mixing up.
No, that's Mowgli from Jungle Book.
No, you're thinking of who's the guy from Moana? Maui? Maui stole
I
fire
haven't
for
seen
humans,
that.
didn't he? You haven't seen Moana?
If I can't spell
you
it, I
know-
don't watch it. You know what I'm saying?
I thought Hermes stole something for.
Hermes.
I think he
Sounds
stole
humans.
cows from Apollo when he was like a baby. Like Hermes was a baby and stole like Apollo's cows.
Oh
Hermes
shit! That
just sounds
that
like a shitty
might
name.
be
doesn't
true.
it, though?
Oh yeah, it's
Like
fucking
herpes.
And then he made
dumbass
some
name.
musical instrument out of a turtle.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
He was like 3 months old and killed a turtle and made some weird loot type thing, and then traded that to Apollo for his cows back.
Whoa.
I took a Greek
was
mythology
weird.
class when I was in high school, but that was always the class that I would skip to sneak out by the football field and smoke weed, so I didn't learn all that much from it. Actually, come to think of it, that was pretty much every class in high school, and that's why I got kicked out my junior year.
But you graduated. Well, you took the.
yeah, they call it testing out, which
You were only doing that because you were so smart, Coop, and you were bored at school.
exactly.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with the fact that I was a degenerate that was spending all my time smoking weed and getting
Doing
drunk.
cocaine.
The devil's lettuce.
Yeah, it was around the same time. I was a early bloomer.
Dude, I really like the shade level of these shades.
Are they
Right?
dope? They
Fuck,
look
I-
fucking sick as hell.
These are comfortable. I can see still, but I feel safe.
I wish my eyes weren't so fucked up so I could actually wear sunglasses on the
Do
show.
you want to
and
just
look
try them
cool.
on for a minute? You have to get them back.
I have to try them.
You would look cool as shit. Yeah, this is dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, point to the camera too. We'll cut it in with our photo. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
I like these. Oh yeah, I really like.
Dude, that
these.
looks cool as hell.
The color of tint, the level of tint is perfect.
Oh,
In the
wait,
camera right now, it's awesome.
I've got this big fucking Cro-Magnon brow, so they keep
They
getting
kinda-
stuck.
they
So if
kinda
I
hide your-
frown,
Oh shit.
Well,
That's
actually, you
cool.
can adjust the length in the back too.
Oh, yeah,
there's-
they
Like
slide
these,
in and out,
these things,
everything.
the back earpieces slide in and out for
Oh,
more
shit.
room.
well, I don't want to mess it up because
Yeah, these were
are
perfectly
custom
formed.
fit for Joel.
Yeah, they're
my
pretty
gosh.
sweet.
Go back to my nerd glasses.
Whatever gets the job done, you know.
Let's see. So yeah, whether or not Alcibiades actually defaced a statue of Hermes isn't completely known. But most likely,
After selling a fucking turtle flute, apparently.
after Hermes
According to this guy.
sold a turtle flute, most likely it was Alcibiades' enemies back in Athens that were just trying to smear him. Probably a whole bunch of pissed off husbands because he went around and fucked everybody's wife. Probably fucked a decent amount of the husbands too, so it might have been some of the angry wives talking shit about him also. Or angry kids that he wasn't taking care of, because God knows this guy must have had a whole gaggle of unclaimed children.
If you're going around fucking everybody, at least around the people you know, it always leads to trouble. Mm-hmm. And the more you do, the more trouble you get. You have to leave. You have to move away. And that's why we moved to Austin.
Oh God, I don't even want to get into that.
Well, you fucked your way out of a state? Is that what you're saying right now? You got exiled?
We both fucked our way out of California. Do you know what you have to do to get kicked out of California?
Yeah, that's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah. Since the expedition to Sicily was already in motion...
In public all the time.
No, they don't even care about that. Since the expedition to Sicily was already in motion, it was decided that Alcibiades would set sail as planned and face trial upon his return, which is a stupid fucking thing to do, because it's like, okay, you're going to go lead all of these battles, you're going to lead this whole military campaign, but as soon as you're done, thousands of miles away from where we are right now, you have to come back, and then we're probably going to kill you for it.
And he just is like, okay. But
yeah, totally.
And they trusted him because
this guy was super fucking convincing. He talked his way into like every single person's pants back then. He had to have been convincing.
He's got a walking boner with him, right? Like, you don't want to fight someone with a boner. Are you kidding me?
He is a walking boner.
I wouldn't want to fight someone with a boner. I'm going to lose.
It's a good point.
You gonna jab me with his dick, man? He's got 3 arms at that point, man.
3 arms. 3 titties, 3 arms.
His absence gave his opponents the opportunity to continue to spread rumors and accuse him of crimes without rebuttal. The smear campaign worked, leading Athens to send a delegation to bring our story's horny hero back home. In Sicily, Alcibiades was approached by a messenger who ordered him to return to Athens to face trial for vandalizing the dick statues. The sex-crazed fuckboy agreed to return, but on his trip back, he ditched his escort and beat feet to Sparta for a political asylum, and maybe to blow a few Spartans while he was at it.
God, I love the blowing Spartans thing. My favorite
so
part
he
of this
was-
whole thing. Just blowing Spartans.
That was probably
left and
Alcibiades' favorite part of the whole thing, too.
And the Spartans, they were down for both ways, unlike the movie. Were you saying that, or
Most likely...
or were they all super straight? But he was so powerful that he turned into.
Oh, no, the Spartan... Well, I mean, back in those days, they didn't really have sexual orientation. It was just the penetrator and the penetratee.
Oh,
So
it was
it's
a dominance
like,
thing.
Yeah, like if you're the one doing the penetrating,
You're
then
the one in
you're going to be
charge.
respected. If you're the one being penetrated, then you're the weaker of the two.
But sometimes,
Unless you're a power bottom.
right?
If you're a power bottom, then you can still maintain.
Sometimes you use your
respect.
little butt to get what you want.
Yeah, yeah.
I can respect the hell out of a Roman or like just an armored up power bottom. You know? You just hear like clink, 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 and the armor just going nuts, dude.
A power bottom legionary.
Caesar was a little bit of a power bottom for a short period to get what he needed.
That was King Nicomedes,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
We're
I mean,
not confirmed,
not confirmed,
but we're pretty sure.
heavily implied.
Yeah,
But
he
heavily implied
gave
by
up
his
his
enemies.
backside to get like 6 fucking ships.
I think
he
it's
had
a whole fleet. I think he got like
Yeah.
15 or 20 of them.
That's
Which
a
I mean,
nice
that's
ass.
worth
yeah,
it.
that's
Nice
yeah,
worth
it
it,
must be
yeah.
a pretty good ass. By convincing the Spartan ephors that the Athenians were intent on conquering not only Sicily, but Italy and Carthage as well, he was able to gain their favor and be appointed as an advisor to the Spartan king. The Spartan king in question was not the greased-up hardbody we all know and love from the 300 movie, as Leonidas had died during the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC, over 60 years earlier. But
That's pretty close.
it was somebody related to Leonidas.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
At the time of the Peloponnesian War, it was the grandson of Leonidas, Pleistoanax, who was in charge of the narcissistic, baby-murdering, little-boy-diddling Spartans. And I can't stress enough, the real-life Spartans were huge dickbags. They do not deserve the amount of respect that they get. They didn't conquer nearly as much as the Romans didn't conquer nearly as much as the Greeks did. They were isolationists who murdered babies and fucked little boys.
And they didn't win every single battle they were in either.
No, I mean,
Most people think they're like, oh, they're undefeated, like they're the special forces.
It's like, no,
What? No.
comparatively, they sucked.
Yep.
They
Really?
were like the modern day. Oh, no, I don't want to insult them that much.
Who are we bashing?
I was going to say they're like the modern day French, but no, they weren't that bad. But yeah, the Spartan, like really the only reason that the Spartans get a whole shitload of respect is because of the Battle of Thermopylae.
Yep.
And outside of that, they were
What's that battle?
just about
Breakdown.
So the Battle of Thermopylae. Anyone who's seen the movie 300 pretty much knows
That's that battle.
the overall story. According to the movie, it was 300 Spartans against like 1 million Persians.
Like 4 million.
In reality,
Inaccuracy
it
was
was
20
300 Spartans along with probably around 10,000 Greeks against a few 100,000 Persians. I mean, it's still a pretty impressive victory considering what they had to work with. But they were also, it was like if the three of us were guarding a door against like 20 elementary school kids. So it's like, yeah, if you're just funneling them all into a doorway, you can just punch each one of them in the face when they walk up, and the only reason that they lost is because somebody sold them out and showed the Persians a way to get around behind them.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, okay, yeah, you're guarding a doorway. It's tactically sound. You chose the best strategic option considering the numbers that you had. But I mean, the 10,000 Greeks probably could have held that same fucking spot on their own without the 300 Spartans who are getting all the fucking credit, even though the Greeks were there too.
Then is it true that he threw the spear?
He threw the spear at Xerxes? No. But something that is true about the Spartans,
They have spears?
They did use
so it's
spears
pretty accurate
and
in
shields.
film.
But 100% accurate.
right
There was also
real
monsters
close.
and everything like that.
Mutants.
But all of the best quotes from the 300 movie are actual quotes from the battle.
Then we will fight in the shade.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, our arrows will block out the sun, then we will fight in the shade. Also
His speech?
the Milan lobby, the famous quote, like, come get them. That was real. They said to lay down their weapons, and he was like, come get them. Another one is...
Okay, he was badass then.
No, see, the Spartans, one of the things that they studied
Cocky.
as part of warfare was they studied wordplay. Like, they learned how to be
War
clever.
with their face.
Yeah,
or their mouth.
they learned how to be clever, and I'm pretty sure that's where the... Okay, I'm not
Give them nothing.
entirely positive, but I'm pretty sure that's where the term stoicism comes from. Laconic. Laconic, where it's just a very...
Yeah, no one knows what that word means.
Yeah, dude, come on, man.
I'm sure there's got to be some nerds in the audience that know what it means. Well, actually, the nerds in the audience are going to be like, no, you're fucking that up.
Laconic means quotes from the 300 movie?
Yeah, laconic specifically means quotes from the 300
Was it Gerard
movie.
Butler? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Gerard Butler quotes.
But it's a very brief but biting style of wordplay where you use as few words as possible to be as clever and witty and
sweet.
tough as possible. They were tough guys, and they learned how to talk like clever tough guys.
That's cool. Though.
Which is pretty badass, because a lot of the
Gotta
quotes
give
that
'em
you
that.
get from the Spartans are fucking awesome.
I didn't know that those quotes in the movie were actually shit that Spartans said.
Yeah, those were real quotes that what was the guy's name? Frank Miller. He was the one that wrote the
Yeah, so
300.
he didn't write shit. The only reason why that movie was cool is because the Spartans actually wrote it.
All of the best parts came from Leonidas himself.
Yeah.
But outside of wordplay, the Spartans were just a bunch of fucking dickbags.
That makes
I
sense.
do not have any respect for them anymore because they were just a bunch of cocksuckers.
We should put him on blast then.
Oh yeah,
That'd be a cool
yeah.
to
When
do
we
an episode on the Spartans and just...
well, I want to do
tell
an
the truth
episode
how shitty they
about
are.
the Battle of Thermopylae and expand on it and include all of the other ways that, like, okay, so the Battle of Thermopylae, awesome. Not as awesome as the 300 movie made it out to be, because there were so many more Greeks fighting that battle than there were Spartans, and the Spartans were pretty much like, okay, so you Greeks are below us because we're Spartans and we're fucking awesome, so you guys just go ahead and go out in front, and then once they cut through all of you, we'll hold this area, but you guys go and do the fighting. Which, I mean, is kind of smart, but also the reason that they were using the Greeks like cannon fodder. It's like, oh, you're so much less than we are that you guys go and fight. We're going to stay here and comb our hair.
If you can pull it off, that's impressive, though. So good for them. They
Yeah.
pulled it off.
That
so
was
I mean,
part
hey,
of the... Yeah,
for
that was their witty
verbal
training.
judo they were doing. They got trained.
What's it called? Tokachichi. What's the word called they have?
Tokachichi? Laconic?
Laconic, yeah, close. I was close.
You were fucking right there,
Same
man.
syllables. Same syllables.
Like, if you look at a keyboard, the keys are right next to each other.
Tickatonic.
While Alcibiades was busy gleefully filleting the grandson of Leonidas, his opponents back in Athens were having a field day. Alcibiades was convicted for his crimes in absentia, his property confiscated, and he was sentenced to death. A reward of 1 silver talent was put on his head, which is ironic because Alcibiades never charged for head. And 1 silver talent is 33 kilograms. It would, depending on the conversion rates, I think it's like, well, just using the same figures that we used for the Caesar episode where Caesar was kidnapped by pirates, a talent was about like $5,000 or something like that. So they put a $5,000 bounty on his head.
Damn.
Back in Sicily, the Athenian forces marched towards the city of Syracuse to begin their siege. A siege basically involved creating a perimeter around the city to prevent them from gathering resources, and once they were hungry and dehydrated enough, the city would either surrender or be so weak they could easily be overrun. You may recall how effective this tactic is from the Caesar episodes.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The siege of Syracuse did not go well for the Athenians. First, Lanicus was killed in the initial skirmishes, leaving only Nicias to lead the army. Next, they had
chance.
Nicias. Well,
like
technically, that? I think Nicias was the smartest of the three of them, because at this point, Alcibiades has already been sent back, or he's supposed to go back to Athens. So the 3 original generals were Lanicus, Nicias, and Alcibiades. Alcibiades got sent home. Lanicus just got killed in the opening skirmishes, and now it's just Nicias. And Nicias was one of the guys that was like, no, guys, we shouldn't do this. This is a bad idea. And now he's stuck there leading the entire fucking campaign by himself.
Into a war that he thought was a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it really sucked for
With a
Nicias.
name like Nicias, you think he's 12 years old.
Yeah, little Nicias.
I am little Nicias. Hey, guys,
And
follow me.
he thinks everything's a bad idea.
Yeah. He's like 12 years old. Guys, I barely even hit puberty. Even I know this is a bad fucking idea. Let's see. There we go. So, next... Wait, fuck, I just lost my spot. Oh, yeah, so leaving only Nicias to lead the army. Next, the Syracusans had ample time to prepare before the Athenians arrived, allowing them to drive the invaders back and prevent them from taking an advantageous position. This forced the Athenians to set up their camp in a swamp, leading to the last stroke of bad luck. Nicias contracted pneumonia. So now there's only one general leading this entire campaign, and he's sick as shit.
And he's dying.
Yeah, and he's dying.
Of course, Nicias got pneumonia.
Fucking
Nicias.
snot-nosed little kids. They're just fucking touching everything and licking everything and always sticking their hands in their mouths. They're always sick.
The toddler leading an army.
Just because of the name, that idea sort of just formed on its own, and it's becoming true, which is really fucking weird.
We must break through their lines. Give them no quarter. Being incredibly sick, Nicias didn't feel up to leading troops into battle, so he tried calling in sick to work. He sent a message back to Athens requesting that he be relieved of command and new generals be sent to command the army in his place. His bosses told him they would send another general to assist him, but Nicias himself was to maintain his command and stay put.
How old was he actually, though?
I mean, he was probably in his 30s, something like that. Like mid to late 30s would
13.
be my guess. Yeah, he was 13, 14 years old. No longer a boy, not quite a man.
He's in his emo phase. He straightens his hair. Straightens his hair over one eye.
God, the Athenian assembly just doesn't understand me.
I wanted to go home, but they just sent some more generals here.
This is so dumb. Can I just leave? The general sent to assist in the campaign was a man named I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Demosthenes or Demosthenes.
Demosthenes. Yeah.
Since Nicias had the sniffles and was being a little bitch about it, Demosthenes was basically the general in charge. Demosthenes was a famous general in his own right, known for conducting successful night attacks. Not worried about being labeled a one-trick pony, Demosthenes decided to launch a night attack. And I like what Jake Brandenberry, the guy that wrote the majority of this episode. I only did a little bit of
props.
Yeah, by the way, Jake Brandenberry, my illegitimate long lost son. Once again, great job on this episode.
Well done, brother.
Yeah, he did
East
really
is this
well.
way and west is that way, bro.
Yeah, he's still learning right and left also, so I mean, he'll get it eventually.
He has 2 left hands.
Well, that's probably because his mother was my sister.
Heyo.
But I do like what he put in here next is just kind of giving you an idea of how difficult a nighttime attack would be with this type of warfare. And back in those days where like the only type of light that you have at night is fire. And that's really going to give away your position.
And not really help you see
and not help you see shit.
It's like a 20-foot radius of visibility there.
Yeah, which also if you're holding it like right here, part of that light is going right in your eyes and making it so you can't see shit in front of you. The plan was that the Athenians and their Sicilian allies would use a code word to coordinate their movements in the dark. Keep in mind that they don't have radios, night vision, flashlights, or even a compass. Warfare at this time was not ideal for nighttime attacks, but that wasn't the biggest issue.
The Sicilians.
The Athenians were Ionian, meaning they spoke a different dialect of Greek than their Sicilian allies, who were Dorian. The locals, on the other hand, were also Dorian, same as their enemies in Syracuse. And I'm sure you can see where this is going. Intimidation being a big part of warfare, it was typical for the formations to do a battle cry before charging into the fray. Screaming at the top of your lungs isn't exactly the best tactic for a nighttime sneak attack. It's an even worse idea when you're screaming in the same dialect as your enemies, leading your Athenian allies to mistake you for the enemy and begin attacking you. So
Holy shit.
during this nighttime raid, before they could even get into the fight with the enemy, the Athenians hear a bunch of people yelling in the Dorian dialect. I'm like, oh shit, there's the bad guys. They charge into each other, and now it's just the locals fighting the Athenians.
Themselves.
And the Syracusan defenders are just sitting there going like, what the fuck are these idiots doing? But that left an opening for the Syracusans to go in and fuck some shit up because they were much smarter than... Well, okay, so to their credit, they did have one general that had pneumonia and another general who had just arrived.
The toddler?
Yeah, little Nicias.
Little Nicky.
He sounds so adorable, man.
No, I'm starting to feel bad for him.
He's got a little blankie he carries with him everywhere he goes.
Super sick. He's sad all the time.
Always walking around with the thumb in his mouth, dragging his blanket behind him.
There's always snot down his nose. There's
got
always snot
Always
coming out.
yeah.
Got an oversized helmet that he's constantly pushing back out of his face. In an attempt to stop their Athenian allies from slaughtering them, the Sicilian troops screamed out the agreed-upon code word to get the attack to stop. They yelled their safe word loud enough for the defenders of Syracuse to overhear it and realize what it meant. And like I said, they're speaking the same dialect, so... Thinking quickly, the Syracusans launched a counterattack on the Athenian coalition who were too busy fighting one another to notice.
Yelling the same fucking name.
Using the code word, the Syracusans were able to sneak directly into the lines of the Athenians and covertly slaughter enough of them to cause a retreat. The battle was lost. So you guys have seen like Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan, where they've got that call and response that they would do, the flash and thunder, to let like allies that you're approaching know you're friendly. Here's the code word, and they would give you the response. It's like, okay, we're not going to fight you. So they've got this whole like group of soldiers coming out of Syracuse going like, no, we're friendly. Stab.
Fuck.
Yeah, fucked them up. Just like
Slaughter.
That's fucking genius.
Oh yeah, it's super lucky on the Syracusans' part because they just had if they were facing like an even bigger Athenian army who were all speaking the same language, if Alcibiades hadn't fucked off to suck the Spartan king's dick, if Nicias hadn't gotten sick, there were a series of events that really played into the favor of the Syracusan defenders. But still, the way that they exploited those was pretty fucking genius, and it actually just gets worse from here.
Ooh, spicy.
Realizing that the Athenian position was untenable, the generals ordered their men back to their ships for a full withdrawal. There was one little problem, though. The trireme ships at the time needed to be brought on land occasionally, or they became waterlogged. The Athenians had been forced to camp in a swamp. This didn't leave many dry places to beach the ships.
Wait, what? Oh, their ships would get waterlogged?
Yeah, the triremes would get waterlogged. I think it has something to do with the way that they sealed the wood. It just wasn't as effective,
Just
so
slowly,
it would
like fill with water.
Well, I think the wood itself would
Grow.
absorb so much water that it would just make them too heavy to be useful.
And they'd start to sink.
So
Whoa, what the hell?
they weren't able to bring their ships onto dry land. Since they were camping in a swamp, they weren't able to bring their ships onto dry land to make sure that the wood stayed dry enough to be seaworthy. So when they went to retreat, they realized, like, oh, fuck, there's like the majority of our ships are totally fucked, and we can't do anything with them. So, I mean, what other direction are you going to go?
Straight to hell.
Many of the triremes had become, and it might be triremes, but I'm just going to say I've been saying triremes. I've been saying triremes ever since like Age of Empires 2.
What did you say?
Triremes.
The triremes.
The triremes.
Okay.
Many of the triremes had become waterlogged, reducing their massive navy to only a handful of seaworthy vessels. To make matters worse, the Spartan navy had arrived, completely cutting off their last avenue of escape.
How was the Spartan navy? Any good?
I mean, I would say comparable to the Athenian navy. Like back during the Peloponnesian War, like the quality of the troops were all fairly equal because they were just all there. What is it that Pat McNamara calls it?
They're all from the same loaf of bread.
That's close. He calls it something like tactical inbreeding or something like that, where you have multiple groups using the exact same tactics. So the only real way that you can get some sort of advantage is by having like your strategy itself or your fighting tactics aren't going to give you an advantage. So you need either a bit of luck or you need like a really good general to figure out some way to exploit the opposing side. Because everybody's doing the same thing.
Who had better ships or sailors? Caesar or Spartans?
I mean, the Romans were fairly decent. Well, I mean, they were fairly decent at naval warfare. They weren't the greatest sailors, but when it came to naval warfare, what they would do, well, the way that naval warfare worked, well, this is even like, 430 years before, or like 400 and some years before Caesar was around.
Okay.
But during Caesar's time, the way that the Romans conducted naval warfare is, I mean, the ships would be ramming each other and everything, but their biggest advantage was what they would do is they would just turn naval warfare into land warfare by getting their ship close enough to the enemy ship,
right,
where they could just send their infantry on there and fuck everybody else up,
like
because
Assassin's Creed shit.
Yeah, they were good at ground warfare, so they used that to their advantage. There were some other
being on a fucking boat when they ram you.
Oh, dude!
Two boats colliding like that. That'd be
there's
crazy,
there's an insane amount of strategy that goes into that shit too, because since a lot of these ships they would have sails that they would use for longer distance travel or when they were just trying to like kick back and relax, but these were primarily oar-driven ships. So one of the ways that, like, one of the tactics that you would use to cripple an opposing ship is you run your ship along the side of their ship to break off all of their oars.
Oh, you pull your
oars.
That's really smart.
You would have to have people, given a command on when to pull the oars in, just so the enemy ship can't go along and snap off all your oars.
Break all the oars off.
Yeah, I would fucking love to see shit like that. They also had something called Greek fire back in those days, which we've lost the recipe to. Yeah. But it was some chemical concoction that what they were able to do is by pumping seawater into this mixture of chemicals, it would create napalm, and they would spray that at the opposing ships and set the opposing ships on fire. But also just using any sort of fire was a really effective tactic. Because even to this day, and like on a ship,
imagine burning alive surrounded by water.
Oh fuck yeah!
Fuck that.
Well, imagine your options being, okay, I'm either going to burn alive on this ship or I'm going to jump into the ocean and drown and get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, because I guess if you jump ship, you're still fucked.
I'd rather go out punching a shark in the face, though. You know? My armor just drags me down. I'm just like looking like left and right for a shark to come get fucking dunked on. You know.
Wait, they were just talking about that on Drinking Bros the other day.
Punching sharks?
No, the dolphins. If they don't like you, they'll pull you under. Like, they're smart enough where they'll like grab your clothes and actually try to drown you.
Dolphins are fucking cocksuckers. Huh.
Yeah, they
People
try,
give
and
dolphins
they
so
try
much
to
fucking
fuck the
credit.
chicks.
Dolphins are fucking
I know they
rapist
rape a lot of shit
cocksuckers.
too. They
Yeah.
fucking rape a
They'll
lot.
try to
wanna-
rape
and-
humans too.
Yeah, if they're attracted
they're-
to a certain human and there's another one they don't like, they'll literally try to drown that one and then try to fuck the other one.
That's dominance, baby. That's cool as
Oh
shit.
yeah, dolphins. They're also like I think was it like the second smartest creature on the planet besides us, and I think that's if you don't include like certain types of octopodes. Octopodes. It's not octopi. Octopussies.
Octopussies.
Yeah, octopussies.
Octopussies.
But dolphins are insanely intelligent, and it's like their intelligence just gives them this level of cruelty, unnecessary cruelty, that you don't see among many other types of animals in the world, besides like humans and monkeys. Which humans are just overblown monkeys anyway.
And what are dolphins then?
Dolphins are fucking rapists.
Dolphins are rapists.
Yeah.
They're the key to speaking to aliens, according to that one fucking doctor scientist dude.
Yeah, that, what was her name? Margaret Howe, I think.
You're close.
Something like that. Yeah, she was the one that jerked off a dolphin for NASA.
Jack off dolphins. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one from Flipper. What's the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Flipper. Yeah.
Jerked
talked
off,
about that a
jerked
little
off the
bit.
dolphin from Flipper. Yeah, we did an episode with Jack Mandeville about that, which was a really fun
That
episode.
was a great one. Yeah.
But yeah, dolphins, fucking monsters. I don't know why they end up on like decorations for little girls and stuff
they're
like
like-
that because
they're
they're
like
fucking
humans.
rapists.
If you train them, you grow up in a society where you're safe. You learn not to be a piece of shit. You learn to use your intelligence for good. Intelligence is evil.
So they have intelligence is a tool. A hammer can be used to bash somebody's skull in, or it can be used to build a house. It just depends on whose hands you put it in. So if you put intelligence in the hands of a sociopath like a dolphin, because dolphins are fucking sociopaths, then you get a bunch of waterborne rapists. You get a bunch of underwater Jeffrey Epsteins.
Is that better than above ground rapist though? Like, is underwater rape better than above ground rape?
It's
Oh
lubricated.
shit!
I don't know. That's a tough one. The salt water.
No, that's
saltwater.
that's a really fucking good question.
Banging in the ocean sucks.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
No, getting
done it.
salt water all up in your meat flaps. Fuck that.
It's more the experience happening that
I
you're
mean,
excited about.
banging in a bathtub or a hot tub isn't even all that fun.
No, it's never fun. No.
Yeah,
No,
shower's all right sometimes, but
I like the shower.
yeah, I mean it's
You just aim the faucet away from.
well, yeah, and then it's like okay, we're not even really fucking in the shower anymore. We're just having sex standing up while we're cold and wet.
I'm not usually cold when I fuck. Usually it's hot and steamy. You know what I mean?
I'm not that good, Joel. Look at me.
Teach me your ways.
Do I look like a sexual Adonis? Come on, man.
Well, I just think it's weird that I'm always hot and you're cold when it's happening.
Yeah, it seems selfish to me more than anything else. So the Spartan Navy showed up and really fucked over the Athenians because it cut off their last chance of a waterborne escape, and the majority of their boats were fucked anyway. So there's going to be a bunch of people getting left behind, whether or not the Spartan Navy showed up. But to make matters worse, a bunch of greased up Spartans showed up, fucking yelling witty one-liners from the water and just making the defeat that much more insulting, just pouring salt on the wound. Unable to break through the Spartan navy, the Athenians and their allies decided the only choice was to make a land retreat back to Athens. So can anybody think of why a land retreat back to Athens might have been a bad idea in this situation?
Where do they have to cross to get to Athens?
They're in Sicily right now, and Sicily is an island.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's cool.
Land retreat's a little bit difficult from an island, especially when you have to cross, who knows how many miles of water just to get into Italy, and then you would have to go so you'd have to cross that little stretch of water in between Sicily and Italy to get onto the tip of the boot.
But it's not that big.
And then
fit
you would
all
have
of
to-
Europe in Texas.
Well, you can fit all of the continental United States inside of Texas. People don't realize how big Texas is.
Well, I mean, technically, they can do the land retreat. Their armor weighs them down, so they just walk at the bottom of the ocean.
They have to be really good at holding their breaths.
Oh no, that's where they make out with dolphins. The dolphins get them oxygen. You're good to go, dude.
You have to
like-
fuck them.
It's like the mermaids from Hook.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all just swimming up and blowing air into their mouths.
Would you fuck a mermaid?
Fuck yeah, I'd fuck a mermaid. I don't care.
Okay,
I don't care if it's fish top, chick bottom, or chick top, fish bottom. I'd fuck.
Okay.
I don't care if it's fish top, fish bottom. I'm gonna fuck it anyway.
If I think it's a mermaid, I'm gonna fuck
You
it.
ever jacked off with a goldfish, brother? It's an already lubricated pocket pussy, man.
Oh, that was my favorite part of the show so
You've
far.
never been
Fuck.
curious about that? Come on, man.
Jerked off with a goldfish? You've done that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
I'll have
pocket
to
pussy,
try it.
dude. I mean, they always tear, but
It's a one-time use.
yeah, it tears pretty quickly. But yeah, man.
Everybody else at the Petco gets really upset at you for it.
I spent so much time at the county fair trying to win some goldfish.
Jesus.
Until you were eventually banned from the fair.
When I was 9.
It's what you call a early bloomer.
Oh yeah,
Something like that.
everything blooms.
Wise
quickly.
beyond your
Hey, let's
years.
cheers. I think that's worth it.
Yeah,
Drink.
yeah.
We probably said something fucked up.
Oh, I'm sure. If we haven't, we're not doing our jobs. So the Athenians were trying to make a land retreat from Sicily, which would mean that they would have to cross that strip of water in between Sicily and the tip of the Italian boot. Then they would have to go all the way through Italy, circle up around, I mean, even if they did succeed in
How far
getting
is
into
that
Italy,
little tiny space between?
it's farther than I would want to swim.
But you could probably see the other shore
I
on a clear day.
I don't know.
Is it like a mile?
You might be able to. I mean, if you look at it on a map, it doesn't seem like it's all that far.
Connected till you get real close.
Yeah. So it is semi-close. I mean, maybe you can see the coast of Italy from Sicily. I don't know.
Or they could head south and go to Malta. But that's another island that they would just get fucked over on.
Yeah, that'd probably be a bad idea also. I mean, they could go southwest and swim a long fucking ways and get to Carthage, but that probably wouldn't be the greatest idea either. This was pre-Hannibal, though. So actually, no, it wasn't.
What, you're talking about the original Hannibal?
Uh,
Like the commander guy?
yeah.
The general guy?
Yeah, I think that...
Did he actually eat people or no?
No, that was his like great grandson, Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm.
He was a sick fuck.
Why is eating people fun though? Come on. You've
I
ever
want to.
ever tried to a little bite of your friend? Just
I
give me-
really
give me a
want
little
to.
nibble, buddy.
I've talked about it. Like
Yeah.
I think the Jameson episode. I don't know if you listened to that one, but we dove into the cannibalism rules and laws, and
Eating placentas.
you can eat a placenta and you technically be a cannibal, and it's legal.
True.
That sounds awesome.
We had, when Joel and I were living back in Ventura, we had a neighbor that lived in the back house. We called them back houses, which is essentially a smaller house back behind the main house that they would rent out because property costs are fucking out of control in California, so they have to...
But we had the back houses because everyone used to own slaves there. Those were slave homes.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, but it was the Native Americans that were there that were the slaves in the beginning, and then it was black people.
None
after
of
that.
those black houses... Black houses.
Oh, drink on that one.
Drink. Freudian slip. Cheers, boys. But none of those back houses look like teepees, so that doesn't make sense to me. Once
Is that
again,
another drink?
Another drink. Jesus, cheers. Yeah.
so anyway, this neighbor that was living in our back house got shit-faced drunk one night and came charging into our house. We were all friends. We partied together, but she got shit-faced drunk, came charging into our house, hammered out of her mind, and she gets like manic when she's hammered. So she comes in, she grabs onto the freezer door of our refrigerator,
Good breed, dude.
swings on it like a monkey until she falls off, and then she just gets up and grabs my shirt, which, I mean, it was a perfully fine shirt that I wore on a regular basis, grabs my shirt, and fucking Macho Man Randy Savage's it open. Well, actually, that's more of a Hulk Hogan's it open. Like,
Goddamn
rips my shirt open, and then just grabs me and bites onto my chest as hard as she fucking can,
What
to where
the
I had
fuck?
like
Yeah, he
teeth marks
bruises and teeth marks.
Oh yeah, like a fucked up mark on my chest for like a month
But
afterwards.
the shirt rip was worse than a wrestler. She like would like her feet were on the counter behind him, pulling as hard as she could until she completely ripped the entire shirt off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But didn't know she was doing it.
Oh no, she might not have been aware at that point.
No, she doesn't even know she did it.
She probably doesn't even remember that night. It was so formative for me, but for her it was just another
Change
Tuesday.
your life.
Was there an explanation for it, or was she just angry?
Whenever she get
Alcohol?
hammered, she liked to whenever she got fucked up, she'd be like, "I'm gonna go fuck with Joel and Coop," and she'd come over and fuck with us. It was different every time.
I was terrified the whole time I lived there.
She sounds fucking awesome, man. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, I got a BB gun, and I started like to retaliate. I would just start firing rounds into her through a window and shooting at her when she was out in her backyard, like trying to mow the lawn.
And then it turned
was good.
it turned into an arms race that I ended up getting caught in the middle of until like fucking fireworks were getting thrown into the house.
Yeah, it was like two neighbors just battling. But
Yeah.
it was all in fun.
It was all
Yeah,
it
no,
was
it's
all
cool
in good
shit.
fun.
She would throw these huge fucking parties, and we'd go back there and just fuck that whole place up, and she loved it.
It didn't
We love
matter.
you, Bree.
Yeah, no,
Name's Bree.
she's awesome. She's working as an electrician on oil rigs now. She is more of a man than all three of us put together.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
She's-
She's
she's
hot
tough
and
as
she's
nails.
jacked.
Oh yeah, she's fucking
Yeah.
ripped.
Badass.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's cool.
And that's why it didn't matter what girl I brought to one of those parties, she would always try to fuck them.
Yeah, she's married now.
And she would try to fuck all the guys too.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, no, she was a party animal.
Not anymore though. She's married. She's happy.
Settled down.
She's
Yeah.
calm.
I don't know
She'll
about
still kick your
settled
ass.
down. Yeah.
She might get drunk once in a while.
But
Holy
yeah.
shit! She actually fell. This is where
Fell-
we're going off.
fell off a
She
parking
fell off
structure?
the top of a parking structure while we were all partying
Oh.
on St. Patrick's
What
Day.
the fuck?
She climbed up on
3
the
stories
edge and was
down
dancing
onto
on it and
concrete.
just fell off.
Holy
Almost died,
shit.
ended
Yeah.
up in a coma in the hospital.
Yeah,
Bounced right back. Well, it took a couple months.
it took a while.
Fucked her up
And
pretty
then she was
bad.
sober for like 2 years, and then she's right back into it. Right back into it.
She
Fucking
ain't no quitter.
Yeah.
Unlike these fucking Athenians. So the Athenians tried to make a land retreat, didn't work out. Needless to say, the retreat didn't work out well. The entire Athenian coalition was eventually either killed or enslaved, but such is life in ancient Greece. As thousands of Athenians and their allies were being slaughtered, one of the architects behind the campaign, our friend Alcibiades, was busy shooting loads all over Spartan titties.
Hell yeah.
Where's little Nikki?
Dead.
Cool.
No, they killed a toddler? What the fuck, man?
Is it worse that they? I mean, I think that his fate is kind of lost to history, but would it be worse that they enslaved a toddler or killed a toddler? Because one of the two happened to him for sure. Nobody got out of there.
God damn.
When we last left off with Alcibiades, he had
had
just gotten
COVID.
close to the Spartan. When we last left off with he had COVID. Oh,
Little Nikki.
little Nicky has had COVID. When we last left
one,
off with Alcibiades, he had just gotten close to the Spartan king by convincing him that the Athenians had grand ambitions of taking over Italy, Carthage, and Sicily. His legendary charisma managed to earn him a position as an advisor on how to fight the Athenians in the very campaign he had lobbied for and helped plan. Which, I mean, really kind of, well, not kind of, it really makes him a big piece of shit. He was like, yeah, totally, let's go and do this campaign. We'll take over Syracuse. It's the most powerful city in Sicily. That's going to be a great thing for Athens to have. But now I'm just going to go tell the Spartans how to beat your guys' ass.
That's so crazy he did that. That's ballsy.
Oh no, I haven't even gotten to that's not even the ballsiest part
Oh,
yet.
shit.
Fuck.
Because he fucked the statue of Hermes so bad that it ruined it. Was going to get put to death for that. Lobbied for this campaign that he just kind of bailed on to go back and face trial for fucking the statue of Hermes. While he's going back to Athens to face trial, he's like, oh wait, no, fuck this. I'm just going to go over and hang out with the Spartans for a while and tell the Spartans how to beat the people that I literally grew up with from my hometown. And then once he got to the Spartans, aside from betraying his fellow countrymen, another thing Alcibiades was busy doing was the Spartan queen. Within a year of his arrival, she gave birth to a baby that looked suspiciously like him.
Fuck.
As we have established, Alcibiades fucked everyone, literally and figuratively. Understandably, plowing the king's wife got him chased out of Sparta. So he was in Sparta for like roughly a year, started fucking the king's wife, knocked her up, she had a baby, and then Pleistoanax looks at it, he's like, wait a second, this looks exactly like Alcibiades, you son of a bitch! And then
God
Alcibiades
damn it, again?
jumps on a boat, and from there, Alcibiades sailed east to Persia for Benedict Arnold Part 2, Persian Poon Boogaloo.
How do you get away from the Spartans after banging one of their chicks?
Dude, he probably just talked his way. He either talks or fucks his way out of every single.
He fucked everything he saw on the way out. And,
yeah.
I mean, the boner itself just commands some like authority, dude.
He uses it like a battering ram. He just runs full speed and he just knocks everything out of the way. No, as good as this guy was at talking, like I cannot even begin to imagine how convincing and charismatic this guy was, because he was able to talk everybody in Athens into going on this suicidal campaign. And then he was able to convince the guys who came to arrest him in Sicily, like, okay, I'll go with you. Just let me take my own boat with my own crew that I'm totally in charge of. I'll follow you. I swear to God, I'll follow you. But yeah, just lead the way. If I fall behind, I'll catch up. Goes over to Sparta, so he goes over to Sparta. He's Athenian. Sparta's in the middle of a war with Athens. And he's able to talk his way into Sparta, become an advisor to the king,
crazy.
Starts advising the king on how to beat the Athenians, and the whole time he's doing that, he's fucking the king's wife. He gets the king's wife pregnant, and then he's still able to get out of Sparta alive?
Dude, I think it happened like this. When he found out, he was like, oh, fuck, this looks like you. I would normally kill you, but I fucking love you. Take a boat. I'm going to pretend to chase you. Just go.
Man,
like, I don't like it, but I respect
love
it.
you,
You're
bro.
so funny. Yeah, you're so funny. You're so cool. Just take a boat and go.
So from there, he goes to the third member of the Peloponnesian War, because the Peloponnesian War was between Athens, Sparta, and Persia, and they were all just kind of continually fucking each other over. But the king of all the fuckers was Alcibiades, and he outfucked everybody, and he fucked all three of them. Once again, he used his demigod powers to become an influential member of the local satrap's court. A satrap was essentially a governor, and similar to governors in the Roman Republic, this was a massive source of wealth. Not only so he starts off in Athens, like this seriously just blows my fucking mind, because he starts off in Athens, convinces everybody to go to war, goes to war, ditches out, like I said, talks his way into... Yeah, talks his way into taking his own boat to go back to Athens to face trial, because there's no way I'm going to run. I'm not going to try and run. You can trust me. Come on, baby. You know you can trust me. You know I wouldn't lie to you.
We've known each other for 2 days. Come on.
What? How could you not trust me? On his way back to Athens, splits, goes to the Spartans. His enemy, the enemy of his people, convinces the leader to take him in, fucks his wife, is able to escape alive, and then just goes over to Persia.
I don't think he escaped. I think he was like, dude, I'm so lucky you fucked my wife. Take a boat. Here's some treasure.
Actually, like we were talking about in the first episode with Stevenos. It's like, you know what? Fuck my wife, take my kids, here's all my money. I'm just going to go kill myself.
Yeah. He jacked him.
I'm totally going to go to the restroom real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh, go for it, man. We'll wait till you get back.
I think there's no way you're leaving Sparta after fucking the queen.
Right?
He had to have done it and been like, dude, talked his way out of it in private with the king, and the king was like, look, I have to be upset about this. But for some reason I'm not. So leave now. There'll be a boat at the harbor, take the boat, and then tomorrow I'm going to raise a big hissy fit. But get out of here. You're a good guy.
Look, if everybody finds out that I'm forgiving you, they're going to know we've been fucking.
And
that's going to look really bad for my ultra masculine image here.
No, that's what it was. It was a threesome situation. He wasn't just banging the queen. They were having a threesome.
Okay, so
lots of threesomes. The queen was into it. The king was into it. She got pregnant.
Pleistoanax wasn't a cuck. He was actually just giving his wife the old Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And
they all loved it.
By the way, I spent a while trying to figure out what Pleistoanax's wife's name was. Nobody cared enough to write it down. Like, it's nowhere.
That sucks.
So yeah,
back to that Cleopatra shit.
Yeah.
How much we don't know that she did.
Oh, that,
or other women.
Yeah, it goes for, like 98% of women throughout history?
Yeah.
98% of the women involved in major historical events throughout history. Just nobody bothered to write their names down. They couldn't write their own names down because nobody would let them learn how to read and write.
Fuck, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
that's my
shitty.
theory. It was threesomes. The king had to make it look like he didn't know about it for his own image.
Yeah, or else he was
But gave him the time to go. That's what it was.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Alcibiades was...
Probably taught the king a couple things for the queen.
And he was probably penetrating both of them, and that's why the king...
No, it was all the way, yeah.
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 Alcibiades,
they were both in love. The queen and the king were in love with him.
Alcibiades made a totem pole out of Pleistoanax and his wife, and he was just hopping back and forth between the vag and the king's butthole.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you call that?
Oh, shit, that's a good question. Well, that actually just made me realize that, so there's the way that all those parts could fit together, if you're making a totem pole, like a threesome totem pole.
Mm-hmm. You could tuck the dick and balls back.
Well, no, I was going to say, you got the queen on the bottom, you got the king and the queen's ass, and then you got Alcibiades swapping back and forth between the queen's vag and the king's asshole. There has to be a very practice.
Wait, whose asshole's getting fucked? The king in this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the king is penetrating the queen's asshole.
They're all fucking each other.
Well, they're all fucking each other, but I'm just trying to figure out like what you would actually call this specific sex position. So it's a totem pole like you would have with a male female threesome, except instead it's male female. Queen's on the bottom, king's on top. King is in the queen's butthole. And
the
Alcibiades
standing
behind him, switching back and forth between the queen's vagina and the king's
and
asshole.
the queen's butthole and the asshole, because you can just get it in there.
You call it the
Jamaican bobsled team. You just got people in a line going back and forth, yeah, like that.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, spread your cheeks. It's bobsled time. So he fucked his way out of Sparta and fucked his way into Persia. And like I said, these are 3 warring nations.
It's so crazy.
It really is fucking insane that he was able to go from being an Athenian to convincing the Spartans to ally with him, fucks the king's wife, and then splits and goes to the Persians. He was probably made the king's heir just so the king didn't look like a bitch. But Pleistoanax was a bitch.
Well, it's Sparta.
Pleistoanax was also a fucking traitor. He betrayed his own people to the Persians years before Alcibiades even came into the picture. He's a really shitty continuation of Leonidas's family line. But then again, all the Spartans were shitty. But Pleistoanax actually literally was deposed because he betrayed the Spartans to the Persians. Because he was
And is that what ended the Spartans?
No.
Oh.
No, they went on for quite a while.
Where are they now?
This isn't a VH1 special. That's not the shit that I'm looking into. So, as I was saying, after fleeing Sparta, Alcibiades sailed east to Persia for Benedict Arnold Part II of Persian Poon Boogaloo. Once again, he used his demigod powers to become an influential member of the satrap's court, and that's the other thing. He went straight into being in the governing class. He was just able to talk his way into it, and became super fucking wealthy off of it. He made a shitload of money in Persia. Yeah, in Persia. He was able to come in as a member of an enemy faction, of a member of an enemy country, talk his way into the governing class, and make like more money than he ever made in Athens. He became filthy rich while he was in Persia.
He must have been racially ambiguous.
Yeah, most likely. Well, no, actually, I don't even with him it wouldn't even really matter.
No one even knows.
Yeah, it's like everybody wants to fuck him so bad they don't care what he looks like. He's just a glowing ball of sexual energy.
Well, and to think this whole time that he's been doing this, Little Nicky has been a slave. He's been a child slave.
Little Nicky
is just super sick.
Poor little bastard's dragging his blanket through the coal mines.
His nose is running, just filled with coal.
He's got the cold cough, whatever it is you get from being in the coal mines.
He's got the black lung.
Black lung, everything.
He's on his own little flat cap like those kids used to use, little paper boy hat.
Oh, Poor little Nicias.
General Nicias, poor bastard.
Oh yeah, sorry, General Little Nicias.
General Little Nicias.
Gotta give him the respect.
What was his
that he's due.
Nicoletes?
Nicias.
Nicias.
Jenny Nix.
Little Jenny Nix. So a satrap was essentially a governor, and similar to the governors in the Roman Republic, it was a massive source of wealth. With his pockets filled with Persian derricks, which derrick was the name of the Persian coinage back then. With his pockets filled with Persian derricks, he decided to sail right back to Athens to clear his name and maybe blow a few more sailors along the way. Upon arriving in Athens, he used his newfound wealth and information of the enemy to get himself back into the good graces of the Athenian assembly. He has fucked over literally every faction in the Peloponnesian Wars, literally and figuratively. He has fucked sexually and politically every single faction in the Peloponnesian Wars. The Athenians still fucking took him back. When he came back after betraying them twice, they still took him back. Like that is a toxic ex right there. It's like they
Hold on, he's got something. There's
Okay,
There's something
hear
going wrong with Last Row Lopez right now.
What was the money called?
derricks.
My mind went to Rob Deerdick. It's a bunch of dollars with Deerdick's face on it. I got a bunch of Deerdicks.
Persian deer dicks.
Just Rob Deerdick. I was crying laughing. Doing a kickflip in one of the things, you know. That's the $100 bills at kickflip. You'll give me 16 deer decks.
Oh, fucking shit.
Oh, shit. All right, that's good. I had to get that out there.
You see him like he was turning into just a ball. He needed to speak.
Had to get that. Had to get it out.
Oh, that was fucking great.
Wait, so they take him back?
The Athenians took him back.
He went in a full circle. He just went
Full circle. Fucked over every single faction in the Peloponnesian War, and the Athenians still took him back because he was just that good. He was the ancient.
What about the trial and shit?
He was the ancient Greek equivalent of a fuckboy. It's like just keeps
Right.
going back to all of
Yeah,
his
but
exes. Like,
fuckboys
no,
go to jail nowadays.
baby, trust me.
What?
I fucking changed. I spent all this
happened
time
to
in
you?
Sparta. I spent all this time in Persia. The whole time it just made me realize what I was really missing at home.
How did he get out of the trial and shit they had to do?
He had a shitload of money, and
Just bought his way out?
Probably a fucking hog that wouldn't quit.
Probably sucked off the judge's dick.
Now look, I know you want to put me to death, but let me just say,
I got
Can we
the Gluck
talk?
Gluck 9000, brother.
it's a very convincing argument. Not guilty. The Athenians are the same people that wanted to execute him for fucking their statue of Hermes and that whole betraying them to their enemies thing. This man must have been slinging some legendary cock to be this convincing. The story of the life of Alcibiades could span even more episodes, and it would only scratch a surface of the affairs and scandals he took part in. After somehow salvaging his reputation back home, he spent the majority of his remaining years leading Athenian armies into battles and plowing other people's wives. He was successful in both endeavors.
Goddamn right he was.
That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Like, how do you go back after?
I have no fucking idea.
What was he tried for?
For defacing a statue of Hermes that had a cock and balls on it.
Okay, and they didn't find out that he betrayed them with Sparta and all that shit.
No, they knew about that shit too.
And they
It
were
was
just
like,
like, "Come on home."
They already sentenced him to death before he even went back to Athens. And after being sentenced to death,
He came back.
he went and betrayed them
I
and
want to know
joined
how
the
he pulled
Spartans.
that off.
And then he joined the Persians and then went back to Athens with even more crimes on his record. And they were just
Probably
like,
just was like, "I was undercover."
it's
dude.
all right.
Let me
So
tell
how many
you
people
everything."
today have this dude's DNA in his body?
Oh, fuck. Maybe about half the amount that have Genghis Khan's DNA in their bodies.
Fucking sweet.
Because that's like, what,
You think Genghis has
15%
more?
of the population? Genghis Khan has the
highest?
greatest lineage of like any person in history. Because he fucked everybody. Well, he raped. He raped a, raped
How
a
many
lot of women.
how many do you think consented?
To Genghis Khan?
Yeah, 4, 5.
So I go 7.
Yeah, I think
7's a strong number.
Seven's good.
7's a safe bet. The other, like, 32 or 33,000 were rape.
I think it's more than that.
More that consented?
No,
More than he raped.
No, that he raped.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fuck.
Because he killed. Didn't he kill 1 billion? People are saying that he killed 1 billion people.
The Mongols killed so many people on Earth that it lowered the carbon footprint of the human race, and like he's done more to fight global warming than any other human in history, just by slaughtering so many people.
Take that, Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, Greta, if you want to start actually fighting global warming,
Race an army.
genocide. Genocide is the way to fight global warming.
Fuck.
You weird.
You sweetheart.
Fuck.
Sweetheart.
I can't stand that
Drink.
stupid bitch.
Why are we drinking to what? Because you called her weird?
No.
Okay, I will
Because of everything.
I will drink against Greta Thunberg. I won't drink for her.
She's a child. It's like this. That's like what happened to little
No,
Nikki, dude.
she's over the age of 18. Nobody gives a fuck about her now.
Well, now she is.
Well, yeah, now she. Well, I didn't give a fuck about her when she was a teenager.
Now you can fuck her.
Ew,
She's hot.
dude, can you
Wait, what?
Can you imagine the fucking?
Oh, actually, you know what? I would for the noises she would emit.
Yeah.
But think of that.
All that built-up frustration she has probably would just turn into great sex.
The unwashed rat's nest of a vagina that she must have. It'd be
I
horrible.
haven't thought about that.
Have you ever seen what the inside of her car looks
He's
like?
gonna grab it and like use it as like just a handle, I guess.
Wait, use what? Like the
pubes,
the musk?
Yeah. No, the pubes down there. Just like braid
Just
them
pull
and
it?
like you just have a little thruster. It's like
You
shifting
braid them
gears,
like into a
know?
basket handle.
Right.
That
That makes
tie
sense.
them together.
That makes sense.
No, and then you grab it and you throw her out the fucking window. I can't stand her.
You grab her by her puss hair and throw her out the yacht she's on.
I'm gonna drink to that. You don't have to if you don't want to.
That was really bad.
I won't feel bad about anything we say about Greta Thunberg.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
One example of his military victories is the taking of Byzantium.
The taking of Byzantium. Here we go.
Reuben, drink. After wearing the city down with the siege, the local garrison decided to surrender, but the populace, on the other hand, had their own ideas and began to riot against the Athenians as they entered the city. Fortunately for the Athenians, the seductive powers of Alcibiades once again saved the day. Using his raw sexual energy, he won over the crowd and convinced them to surrender the city, and maybe let him blow a few of them along the way.
Was he just the best talker of all time? Was speechman, and
Right?
then he'd fuck everyone?
Yeah, he had like X-Men level superpowers of talking people into shit. People just loved him. They would let him get away with fucking anything.
Was he actually fucking everyone too, or is that kind of like a joke on that he fucked everyone, or was he actually just like super well at communicating?
If you had that
manipulating?
power to convince people, what would you do with it?
Fuck him. Yeah.
So it stands to reason
But
that
it
he
was
was
the
fucking
talking
everybody.
first, probably in reality.
Well, generally, sex starts off with talking, and if it doesn't,
If
then
it's not, we're going.
then we're
Genghis
going
Khan.
Genghis Khan.
Hey, babe, what are the Genghis Khan tonight?
Yes, I do. Will you Genghis Khan me tonight? Jesus.
after his many accomplishments, Alcibiades retired to northern Greece, where he spent the rest of his days balls deep in anything with a pulse. Whether he died from the rampant STDs he had acquired from years of fucking everyone, or at the hands of an angry husband, is unclear. The most entertaining theory is that when a group of people showed up to his manor to burn it down, Alcibiades jumped out of a window to get in a knife fight with the angry crowd. There he took place in one last gangbang where he was penetrated by an orgy of arrows.
No.
What?
They finally got him.
They finally got him.
For what?
That's bullshit.
Fuck. Over the course of his life, he did so many things to piss people off. He probably just finally pissed off the wrong person. They sent a whole crowd of
squad.
assassins to take him down, and they got him. He wasn't able to fuck the whole crowd at once. There was just one too many dicks for him to handle there.
I like to think he went out with a boner still, you know.
Yeah, it's still fully hard.
He's still just erect wherever he's at nowadays. It's still just going.
He's still hard as a rock. The rest of his body is completely withered away. There's just a disembodied penis somewhere in the world.
So what's the lesson from this fucking show?
Oh fuck! The lesson from this is if you can talk well enough, you can get away with anything.
Yeah.
I think it's make sure the people you're fucking don't have the internet. You know? That's the real lesson right here. You just got to take away all their internet rights and stuff like that. So you can get away with all this shit, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the internet has been the downfall of the polyamorous man.
Yeah, you couldn't do this nowadays.
Oh, God, no.
No,
he would be the greatest politician of all time. Like, he would be Bill Clinton if Bill Clinton didn't get impeached for getting a blowjob in the Oval Office. He would be Bill Clinton if Bill Clinton was getting blowjobs while he was giving, like, the State of the Union address.
That'd be sick.
And everybody's like, fuck, look at that guy.
I'd be
out of the little podium, there's like a little stage that like raises into the podium, and some chick just starts sucking them off mid-speech at the White House. It's like, all right, bring Clarice up here. And you're just like, here, as this little elevator pops up and the podium moves a little bit. And you're just like, gluck, 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 gluck. In the background, while he's just talking about the speech.
It's mic'd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even trying to hide it. They actually have a microphone down there.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'd be down with like a
Mr. President, don't forget to mention the stimulus package.
Dude, a single president that was handsome and charming and kicking ass and fucking bitches, I would be stoked on that.
Oh, we had one, and he got shot in the head.
Yeah. We should get another one.
JFK.
We should get another one of those.
Well, he'd probably end up getting shot in the head, too.
Because he was single?
No, JFK wasn't single. He was married to Jackie Onassis. And apparently...
So we haven't had a single president?
You mean a bachelor president, which is the nice old-timey way of saying a homosexual president who was in the closet because if he came out of the closet, he would be completely ostracized from society. I can't remember what president it was.
Trump?
There was like no, because he was with Melania. I'm saying an unmarried president that
was gay,
remained unmarried. Which I can't remember.
Thomas
the guy's
Jefferson.
name. I'm sure somebody in the chat will bring up who because I think there was only like one president that was unmarried for his entire time in office. Had a lot of male friends that would occasionally stay the night.
Really?
Abraham Lincoln also. Abraham Lincoln had a really, really close male friend.
That's why he got into wrestling at such a young age, to touch little boys. Do that whole thing. Undefeated wrestler, in the bed and also outside.
Yeah. No, I see that. Yeah.
Undefeated in the streets.
He's a lot like our guy,
Alcibiades
sheets. Or whatever. Alcibiades?
Alcibiades.
Alcibiades.
Al Capone.
Maybe Abe Lincoln was the reincarnate of him.
If you've ever seen any pictures of Mary Todd Lincoln, I think you would understand why Abraham Lincoln would fuck dudes instead also. And also why he was probably relieved to get shot in the head.
Well, not instead. He fucked everything.
Was she a heifer?
Mary Todd Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, God. She was built like a brick house.
Oh, God.
I mean, she was a manly looking woman. So maybe that's why he chose her.
He would train his wrestling moves on her?
No, she would train hers on him. He'd be like, luckily it's not a sanctioned fight, but he'd lose every time.
She was the only person to ever defeat him in wrestling. And she was like, "Look, we're getting married now." He's like, "Okay, Mary."
Or I'm
gonna
say. Yeah, dude, she forced him. She was like, "If you don't marry me, I'm gonna tell him you lost."
Ooh,
that's a good move.
I could buy that because she was a severe looking woman.
Severe? What do you mean?
She was ugly as fuck. I was trying to be nice, but yeah, she was fuck ugly.
Someone hit her in the face with a cast iron skillet, dude. That's what happened.
So yeah, that was a story of Alcibiades, the man who fucked everyone. Once again, thank you, Jake Brandyberry, for writing the episode.
Yeah, man, thanks.
About 2 episodes. Saved me 2 episodes.
Bro.
White
shot. Thanks, Jake.
Appreciate it, dude. That's a good one.
Appreciate it, man.
That was pretty cool, man.
The other Jake the Desert Hippie, you're not left out. He sent me an episode also that we will be doing soon.
Cool.
I'm not sure exactly when, but we will be doing it soon. He wrote about somebody from his native New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
Who keeps getting the left foot of their statue cut off because apparently he was a huge piece of shit.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, so that'll be someone that we can definitely bash because he was a massive piece of shit. To this day, hundreds of years later, people are still cutting off the left foot of his statues because he was such a douchebag, and that's like the best way
why the left
to
foot?
say. We'll find out during the episode. Because that's the best way to say fuck you to this guy. So that's it. We're done for this week.
I think we should shotgun another beer.
Jesus Christ!
Wrap it out. Oh wait. Should we watch the video?
Oh yeah.
Shit!
We got a special surprise for everyone listening and not right now and watching on the Iconoblast podcast. Yeah, listening and watching right now. There is a special feature.
And this is another reason to tune in to the Drinkin' Bros History channel on YouTube, so you can see the video that we're about to play. But if not, you're just going to have to listen to it. And when you listen to it, you're going to want to watch it.
You're going to like it, and you're going to want to watch it, yeah. It might be out before this episode comes out. But either way, if you haven't seen it, this is awesome. So I think we should shotgun a beer before we start the video. That's just my opinion. I mean, if Last Row Lopez is... doesn't want to shotgun a beer.
I mean, I'm not going to shotgun a beer. We'll shotgun a beer with you.
All right, let's do it.
If Last Row Lopez is, this is a special occasion having him in the studio. So if he's going to shotgun a beer, I'm going to shotgun a beer. I just know that it is not the responsible decision for me because I actually still have a couple hours of work to do tonight. So that'll be interesting. But I'm going to do it anyway. It's a special occasion, and I'm an irresponsible adult. It just brings me back to my college years where I
really enjoyed the last
I never
one.
went to college.
That was a good joke.
I love that you got a necklace that can do that.
It's pretty sweet, man.
I'm trying to
If anyone just listening to the audio, you'll hear me shotgun these, but I do have an actual necklace designed to shotgun beer.
God bless you, thank you.
You just jam your thumb there, make it a little bit wider if you want to.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, Joel already knows that trick.
He knows that I can shotgun, so he gave me a smaller hole so I don't get done first. It's not a competition.
Just do your little thing.
It's not a competition.
Count it down, last row.
Oh, we got. What do you? There we go.
Fucked it up. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Oof.
Yeah.
Now that's how you end a damn show right there. Oh.
That is how you end a fucking show. So that is it for this
that
episode.
Felt good.
Let
the audience know you're burping.
Yeah, there's some ASMR for the for the listeners.
If you're trying to
right
go
there.
to sleep, this will help you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Are we on the wide or the
Whatever
single?
one you look at, I'll switch to.
That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. Join us again next week for a topic that I haven't chosen yet, but it might actually be the episode that Space Cowboy sent in. You can follow us on Instagram at Iconoblast Podcast. You can follow me at Coop Nukem, CoopNukem. You can follow Joel, the one who just burped, at Joel R. Benner. Last row, what you wanna pitch some stuff?
Yeah, what you got going on?
Yeah, no, super quick. Instagram, Lasrow Lopez. I got some cooking shows coming up on my Instagram. Doing some wine shows, and then this band I started. You're gonna watch me learn how to play guitar and learn how to sing emo as fuck.
Wait, tell me about the cooking show. What's the cooking show?
It's just me cooking really shitty food in my house. That's all it is.
I am 100% in on that.
Every episode is just boxed macaroni and cheese the exact same way.
Well, it's me unmeasuring, not measuring things, not timing things, just putting food into a thing, and it's like, hey, this is pretty good. The ingredients, I don't know what they were. I just threw them in there. So you have to go slow mo to see what the fuck I put in there. But the whole plan is just to make food and be like, hey, it's pretty good. Good luck trying to make it. Because you probably can't recreate this fucking concoction.
The show's going to be called "This Is Pretty Good" with Lasrow Lopez.
I just get store bought chicken nuggets and put some whipped cream on it, throw it in the oven.
One of the episodes, you just drive to McDonald's and order something, and be like, "Hey, this is pretty good."
Pretty good. Yeah, follow me at Lasrow Lopez. I do dumb shit all year.
That was beautiful.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. My name is Matt Cooper.
I'm Joel Benner.
And that is Last Row Lopez.
Yoo-hoo!
And we are reminding you to never take anything at face value.
All right.
My name's Last Row Lopez, and I go to college football games and throw parties.
Dude, the chick walking like a leash. That was, or crawling on her hands and knees like she's walking like a dog.
Yeah, what was that day?
Yeah, that was on the yacht. We made this chick like wear a collar and walk her around the yacht the whole day.
Boobs, sports.
I gave her like 3 beers to do it. It's pretty sweet.
I know you don't like to talk about this, but like before all this, before you had this change of a lifestyle of positivity,
fucking love this
there was a
video
life
so
of
much.
negativity. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Before DraftKings, I had drowned. Before DraftKings,
For those
I
who
was-
don't know, I actually did die in a river
blow
once.
it.
I got revived
Wait,
by a
I'm gonna pause
stranger.
it. You gotta tell
Yeah.
the story real quick.
Yeah, I gotta hear this story. I haven't
Yeah.
heard this.
Oh, so we're paused. Yeah, so
Video's paused.
I was
We're back
like-
in. We're back in.
I was like, so I was 19. It's like 3 days when I got home from Afghanistan, and I go to a lazy river to drink and float. And I drank a bottle of Jameson and a bottle of Kraken,
Holy
and
shit.
I fell asleep in my raft, and just like fell into the water. And some stranger like just saw me die. Like he just saw me roll off my raft, and like picked me up. And like gave me CPR. Like I don't remember any of this shit. Obviously, I was like blacked out. But he gave me
I
CPR.
think the scientific term is dead.
Yeah, I was dead as shit. And the only thing my friends remember was this dude going, "Whose friend is this?" While like smacking me, trying to keep me alive. But yelling, "Whose friend is this?" And my friends were like, "Shit, is that Scott?" and they like slowly swam over and like grabbed me, and I just like I was like a baby Yoda on this dude's lap in the tube, passed out while we like finished the float.
They just took you along. You were
Yeah, there was still a couple hours to go,
This
right?
dude like brought like me back to life. I had like water in my lungs and shit. So he like had to like give me like chest compressions and shit.
holy shit.
And then it's like, what else are we gonna do besides like I was sitting on my buddy's lap just like floating along with him for the next like 2 hours or something.
How did you feel at that point? Just fucked up and sick and
I don't remember any of that. The only thing I remember is my buddy puking in the water bottle in my car. By the way, it's possible you can puke in a water bottle and not spill anywhere. I've done it before too.
Holy shit.
My buddy did that. He puked like in a spitter. Actually,
Wait, so
You
so
spit-
you were unconscious, possibly dead, got resuscitated,
yeah.
floated down a lazy river for
And the
2
only thing I
hours.
remember is my buddy like puking in a water bottle
But where was that at?
in the car somewhere. It was my car. And he was in the passenger seat, man. Like I was laying down in the back seat. That's how fucked up it was. They just like they couldn't put a seatbelt on me because I was just
So you opened your eyes and that's the
Jellyfish.
first thing you see?
Yep.
Or your first memory at
my
least?
first conscious memory was, and I'm like, oh fuck, he's puking all over the place. But he got every drop of puke in that bottle. Dude's a fucking legend, man.
I've never seen that.
You were underwater long enough to die, and the most memorable part of the day was your friend puking into a water bottle without spilling a drop.
Well, dude, my favorite thing was like my mom would be so proud. Like the headline, it's like soldier comes home from the war, dies in a lazy river going 2 miles an hour. You know? And I'm like,
Were you just back from the military?
it was literally I was still in the military. I was not underage drinking. I was. But no, it's like my first weekend back from the war, dude. So I was still in the military, and then I was like,
Oh shit.
hey, we're partying, dude. And I tried to party like I used to back in the day, and it didn't work.
Fuck, that's how most heroin addicts
So
go
yeah,
out
so I
is-
fucking literally died. I probably died from alcohol and drowned, and then this guy just saved my life.
You
You
double
died
died.
twice.
I double dipped on the dying, bro. But yeah, so that's why when you watch that video before DraftKings, I had drowned. It's a true story.
Yeah, that little clip that just that's a true story. Fuck, that's crazy, man.
So that dude just to be conscious enough to like pull me on shore, and then like give me chest compressions, and then roll me on my side and pat my back.
Best part is I
Yelling, "Whose friend
probably
is
like
this?"
I imagine him like he was like sitting on the shore. He lived near the river, like goes there every day, sits on the shores fishing or something, and not even paying attention. Like looks over and just under the water, you float to the shore. You've been unconscious for 20 minutes, and then he's like, "Oh, okay," and pulls you out, and he's hammered. and just doing what he thought he saw on TV. And he
Like, oh
saved
shit, another one.
So yeah, if you're listening out there, this was June or July of 2015. If you saved a man in a river, fucking hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm Lasrow Lopez.
Yeah.
I'll buy you a
Thank
beer.
Yeah.
I am legally obligated to buy you a beer.
Yeah, God bless you, sir. Do you remember what he looked like or anything?
No.
Did your friends tell you?
No, fuck no. He was like some dude. He's a
Just
dude.
dude.
No one knows who he
He was dead. How was he gonna see him?
Yeah.
All right, we got to finish the video.
All right, back to the
I got
video.
diagnosed with type 2 diabetes before drafting. Homeless, jobless.
It's so cold.
Oh, for the audio listeners, that was Eli Halpern from the Giggle Boys back when he was homeless with Last Row Lopez.
Lost my dog. Lost my wife. Lost my second wife. Remarried my first wife. And then she died. Before using DraftKings, I used to go to the local pool and try to hold my breath underwater. Longest I ever made it was 3 seconds. And now, using the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code BROS, I can hold my breath for 5 seconds. After using the
That's a
DraftKings
Oh,
powerful
Sportsbook,
gut right there.
Beautiful body.
parties, making out with college chicks, and buying booze for underage children. Download
That I
the
definitely
Sportsbook
card.
app, use that promo code BROS, you can win all kinds of shit. I'm Last Row Lopez. Use the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Come party with me. And remember, last row in the seats, first row in the sheets. Man, I've won so much money. I bought a double-wide trailer. My mom talks to me now. It's been pretty good, man. I even bought a color TV just yesterday off the winnings on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Make sure you use that promo code BROS, and that's how we does it double anything. What the fuck does it even do?
Oh shit.
That's a good way to wrap out an episode.
Oh fuck.
Dude, thank you so much for being on the show. You
Yeah,
are
man.
fucking welcome here
Anytime.
If you just show up in the studio and we're recording,
Just walk in.
just
sit
walk
down.
in and sit down.
No, I'm seriously honored. I'm such a big fan. This is fucking phenomenal just being here.
You have a good time?
I had a fucking great time.
All right, cool.
Learning about Alcibiades.
Alcibiades, yeah. Diabetes.
Learn about
Alcibiades.
learning about diabetes and little
How
Nicky.
diabetes fucks everyone.
Diabetes fucks everybody. Dude.
The biggest takeaway was little Nickius.
Yeah, that's my boy, dude.
To this day, he's still a child slave.
That poor bastard wasn't lucky enough to die in the route.
I'm gonna get a little Nickius tattoo. Love that guy.
Always remember.
He had COVID-1.
He had the beta edition of COVID.
Yeah, that's the full version. All right.
All right, gentlemen, that's it for this episode, and we will see everybody next week.
Later, you
White shot. Here we go.
Tim Kennedy ain't shit. I'm gonna tell you what.
Put it on him. Put it up. You tell me right now who it is. You tell me who it is right now. You tell me who it is. Don't you do it. Don't you spit it out. Don't you fucking set it out.